The ADHD brain, language can be very overwhelming and even anxiety producing. Whether they are listening to a lecture at school or getting a lecture for a bad behavior from their parents or having a social conversation with their peers, we see all the time that it is very hard for them to keep up with the pace, take that language in, receive it, process it, and comprehend it. This is a core facet of ADHD. And this is why, in many cases, ADHD is misdiagnosed as auditory processing disorder. At its core, ADHD is a deficit in working memory. And working memory is very detailed and intense. It is both non-verbal working memory, the visual system of the brain, and verbal working memory, which is the self-directed talk system of the brain. So the language inside of the ADHD brain is very disorganized. It's not something that can really be relied upon when needed in the natural environment. There's words and language and thoughts really racing so quickly internally inside the brain, and it's so hard to know what to do to stop and think in the present moment to make an educated choice by utilizing the language and thoughts that we have. And we see this most often at school when kids with ADHD have great difficulty in both reading comprehension and written expression. There are no two more academic tasks that are more difficult for the ADHD brain than reading and writing. And this is one of the many reasons why talk therapy is simply ineffective for kids with ADHD. Sitting there and talking about your thoughts and your feelings, as soon as that Zoom session is over or that therapy session is over, they're going to walk out that door and forget everything they just talked about. Talk therapy is not something that's going to internally strengthen the internal executive functions. So as parents, what can we do? What can we do to help kids organize their internal language? One of the first things we do is start to use more declarative language. Start to talk more about what you're wondering. We have to know what our kids are visualizing in their brain and learn that their brain is a movie theater. It is something that they can reach into and see images from the past. They can forecast into the future to help them make positive, educated choices now. So start to talk to your child more about, what do you see? What does it look like? How does it feel? How are you moving? Instead of direct questions that have a clear black and white answer, ask them more about what they are seeing